Welcome to Season 2 of Anchor News Now. I'm Gabe Late.
And I'm Ava Schuldwachter.
Our first segment of this year highlights one of the biggest changes in the district from last year, a new superintendent. News correspondent Natalie Presley interviewed Ms. Joelle Magyar to help everyone get to know our new school leader.
Hello, I'm Natalie Presley with Anchor News Now, and I'm here with Superintendent Mrs. Magyar. We're happy to have you.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
It's your first year at Avon Lake. How are you enjoying it so far?
I love it. I've met so many great people. The kids here are fantastic. I've been made to feel so welcome here at Avon Lake, and I'm so excited to be here.
We do have a good school system.
You have an awesome school system.
Over the next 2023-2024 school year, what are some things you anticipate on focusing on?
Really, my focus is going to be on getting to know as many people as possible, building relationships with people, attending as many things as we can. We have this big important bond issue, so paying attention to what that looks like, and really starting to develop a focus on culture as to where we want to go. And that's going to involve talking to lots of students, getting student voice, getting parent voice, and staff voice to say, where do we want to go together in Avon Lake?
Good, I'm glad. How many years have you had in education?
Oh my gosh, you're going to date me now. So I believe I'm starting my 28th year in education. I took a few years off to stay home with my kids, but yeah, this is my 28th year.
All right. With 28 years in education, how do you think that experience has helped you or will help you have this role in the school system?
Yeah, so I was a superintendent prior to this for 7 years. And I think I've learned a lot from that experience. It takes a lot of patience and understanding. Everybody that comes to school has their own perspective, including parents and students, and being able to hear and understand and really listen to those perspectives to make people feel very comfortable with decisions that you've made. So I think my time in education has given me the forethought to really know what's important in making decisions, and that's listening to kids, listening to parents, and listening to staff and what their needs are.
You sound really prepared. And last question, how many snow days do you think we'll be having this year?
I don't know. I heard a rumor that there's no snow on the west side. All the schools that I worked in were on the east side, so we had quite a few. But if I were to predict, I'd say maybe 2.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for spending time with us today. We're happy to have you. For Anchor News Now, I'm Natalie Presley.
Well, it looks like we can plan on at least 2 snow days this year, but at least just for the high school. No fair that those elementaries got those heat days. It was great to hear from Ms. Magyar to start us off.
I agree, but we also have our high school leader, Principal Mike May, to hear from as well. I was able to ask Mr. May some questions about the upcoming school year and what to look forward to in the 2023 to 2024 school year. Check it out. Hi, this is Ava Schuldwachter with Anchor News Now, and today I have our principal, Mr. May, here for an interview.
Thank you for having me.
So what are some things we can look forward to this 2023 to 2024 school year?
I think I'm really looking forward to, and I think other people are, first of all, we had a great start to the school year, which was outstanding, very positive. Students and staff, everything was very well organized. We've already had some home sporting events. Looking forward actually to all the great music events we're going to have, theater. Also just to see what the art classes are going to be producing with their pieces of artwork and photography. Marching band has a bandorama coming up this month at the end of the month, which will be really neat. And really, this building is almost in use every day, 7 days a week from August 1st through June 15th. So there's always something great to come see. There's always something to do. All you have to do is check the district and building calendar.
What are some of your highlights from last school year?
I would say just the fact of all the positive accolades that we were able to get out there to the public through not only social media, but through all the different newspapers and the news media, whether it was sports that were going on, winners throughout the state of Ohio, and that were also recognized nationally. Our marching band and choirs earned multitude of awards, so that was really, really fun for them. and just all of the great things that happen here daily that people don't get to see, the positive interactions we have. A really great news program called Anchor News Now, which obviously we're doing this right now. It's growing and it's going to outreach to more into the community, and actually Anchor News Now won an award last year, so that was a really cool positive as well.
And can you tell us about some of the national rankings the school has this year?
Yeah, so U.S. News and World Report released their rankings. Avon Lake High School was number 1 in Lorain County. We are number 9 in the Cleveland metro area, number 36 in the state, and we are in the top 5% of the nation of 17,600 high schools that they evaluated. So really the whole district and community should be proud about this, because it's not just about us here, because all of you came up through the ranks of the Avon Lake schools. But specifically here, the students and staff should be very proud of that continuation of success.
And what would your message be to new staff and students this year?
Well, first, just thank you for the great start to the school year. It has been very positive, and we're just looking forward to all the great things that all of the students and the staff are going to accomplish this year.
Okay, thank you for your time, Mr. May. I hope everyone enjoyed the interview. This is Ava Schuldwachter with Anchor News Now.
Thanks, Ava, and thank you, Mr. May. The Avon Lake athletic season is well underway this fall, and we wanted to take some time to acknowledge the recent successes of our Shore Gals and Shore Men.
That's right, the football team captured a huge win last Friday night against Berea Mid-Park, and the girls tennis team was recently crowned the LCAAA champions.
But first, we surveyed over to the undefeated girls volleyball team. Last Thursday, the Shore Gals defeated the Olmsted Falls Bulldogs, last year's SWC champions, in an epic 5-setter. Led by the hitting prowess of seniors Aubrey Kirk and Stephanie Smith, the precision passing of Rachel Mayer, and defense of Danny MacArthur, the Shore Gals bounced back after losing their first 2 sets of the entire season by sending the Bulldogs home with a dominating 15-4 fifth-set victory. The victory puts the Shore Gals at 5-0 for the season, tied with Avon for tops in the SWC.
Another squad delivered a dominating performance last week, the girls tennis team, participating in the LCAAA tournament with other Lorain County high schools. The girls tennis program secured a championship with excellent performances from both doubles pairings. Sisters Amber and Autumn Corey took the final 6-0, 6-0, while the second doubles championship featuring Grace He and Mackenzie Ansberg also won without dropping a set. Meanwhile, Vanessa Baker, third singles, took second, Avery Brown, second singles, took thirds, and Elizabeth Miner's first singles took second. Congratulations to a great team effort.
The Avon Lake football team delivered their best team performance of the young football season last Friday, defeating the Titans of Berea Mid-Park 24-7. Defensively, the Shoremen limited the Titans to short drives all evening, only allowing 1 touchdown, resulting from a tremendous punt return from Berea Mid-Park. Wade Nelson broke free on 2 separate touchdown runs. One from within the red zone and one from 42 yards out put the Shoremen up for good. This Friday, the Shoremen travel to Grafton to face the Midview Middies for another SWC matchup. Good luck, Shoremen football.
The head coach of the Shoremen football program joined us earlier this week to talk a little chalk. We are featuring a new coaches only segment this year called Talking X's and O's, sponsored by Lake T Apparel. Sports analyst Tyler Burke sat down with Coach Matt Kostelnik.
Welcome to our first episode of Talking X's and O's. I'm your host, Tyler Burke, with our guest today, Matthew Kostelnik, the head football coach of the Avon Lake Shoremen. Today's episode is sponsored by Lake T Apparel. Coach, great to be with you. The first question we have today is, what were your goals going into the season?
In regards to just overall team goals, well, we always want to, start off. We want to beat South first and foremost. From there, we want to be SWC champs, regional champs, and then on to state champs. That's a goal, that consistent goal that we set every year, and hold ourselves to a high standard and high competition level.
All right, yep, definitely. How have these goals been looking going into the week 4?
Well, we stumbled last week in week 3. Offensively, we haven't been as efficient as we want to be. And as a coaching staff, we always take a look at where can we get better first? You know, I don't think we're being a good coaching staff if we're not saying it's our fault first. But all of our goals are intact. You know, we never. You notice I didn't say 10-0. I just said SWC champs, and we're going to open up with SWC this week, and it's our first opportunity to achieve that goal. And then make our way as we play South week 10. So our goals are still intact. We just need to make sure we shore things up a little bit, take care of those tiny details. So wins like last week would have taken care of itself and ultimately get better. And like I said, as a coaching staff, we're going to pare some stuff down and continue to move forward.
With two-year varsity starter Jeremy Zick gone, how has Alex been filling in the offense?
I think he's been, great so far. I mean, he's throwing for close to 60% completion percentage. His next level in his maturity, his decision making has been very good. Where he's failing right now is some of those little details, in particular on crucial situations, going through his progressions a little bit quicker. I mean, he's getting to the right progression, or put a little touch on the ball when we need a surefire first down. Those type of things will take him into the next level. But overall, I can't be mad at him for his decision making. But he can definitely speed it up in some cases, and I can't be mad at him for his completion percentage. He's darn near 60% as a high school kid. That's a good start. So if he can clean up some of the other details that we require of him, carrying out fakes, things like that, it'll get our offense to run a lot smoother and as we move forward.
Switching sides of the ball, with having most of the defense graduating last year, how do you think the defense has been performing?
Same thing. I think our defense has played well. I mean, last week they got a little tired in the second half, mostly because our offense wasn't able to stay consistent and move the ball and keep the ball out of Chardon's hands. So they've been playing well. For us, it's again, those little tiny details, run fits, some guys trying to do too much and get to the ball. Turnover ratio, we've been doing great so far. But as we play a tougher schedule going into conference play, cleaning up those details, making sure we're in the right fits, making sure we're getting guys on the ball, or getting guys on the ground, and putting pressure on quarterbacks, that'll put us in a position to be more successful, especially in the back half of this year, and not be giving up 15 points a game.
And while there were a lot of seniors starting on both sides of the ball, how do you feel that those big contributing juniors played last year, like Wade Nelson, Clay Broadhurst, Derek McCrum, and others, have been filling that leadership role for the team?
Good. I think our leadership's been great so far. I've been really impressed with how we handle things. We had a great captain's meeting after Friday's loss, and the insight that those guys brought to the table, I thought was fantastic, and it showed that as a coaching staff and as players, we're seeing the same thing that's not going well. And to me, that shows great leadership and stepping forward. And so we're going to rely on that as we get into conference schedule and rely on those guys to keep us moving in a positive and successful direction.
All right, sounds good. And that wraps up our first episode of Talking X's and O's with Coach Kostelnik. Thank you, Coach. Once again, this segment is sponsored by Lake T Apparel. And that's a wrap.
So Ava, how are you feeling about the new school year so far?
Oh, it's senior year. I've been through this before. It's a breeze.
Well, remember, it's not always as easy for new students and freshmen. Remember that year?
I try not to.
True. Well, to help eliminate some of those scars, me and my production team, McKenna Coleman and Jackson Reith, asked some seniors and upperclassmen for some wisdom they could pass on to our first years. Take a look. We asked upperclassmen to give advice to new or incoming students to the building. Here's what they had to say.
Someone who's starting high school, do your best to meet new people. It's so easy to stay within the realm of people that you know at school, and that's great, but people change, and you do too.
Just have a fun time, because nothing's that deep.
I think just follow rules. Follow the directions they give you, and don't be a loud person. Just sit back, go through the class, do your homework, and just kind of be present.
Take things slow, ask for help. That's probably the best thing you can do.
Don't be loud in the hallways.
It's so easy to go in your head and be like, hey, I'm not going to do that, or I can't do this, or I'm not going to be good enough in this club. But, if you actually try it, you may like it. So.
Hopefully, you're now ready to start the year off right and are prepared to conquer anything that comes your way.
If I had to give advice to my younger self,
it would be to not cut that bob. It was too short.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, we did it. First episode, season 2, in the books.
You can always find us on YouTube. Just search for Avon Lake Productions.
And don't forget to subscribe. For Anchor News Now, I'm Gabe Late.
And I'm Ava Scholdwachter. Until next time.